Alright, so back again, and we had the 655 special. But before we get into that, if you're going to buy anything from this game today, make sure you get it from rocketprices.com. Their link's in the description. You can pretty much get anything you want from this place that's in or has been in this game for a cheaper price that you find elsewhere or from the game itself. Made it even cheaper with a 6% off code JET at checkout. And if you can't tell why this is, just look at my name. Not much else to say because of that. Bit of a weird number, but it's in the name, so we thought I'd do one for this. And today we are doing a very interesting concept. As you can see from the title, I made a brand new account on Rocket League. I'm ranked in everything, and just won my casual games, kind of, you know, get to level 10. And I'm going to be playing 655 games across every game mode in that. This is taking inspiration from the Lost Changing Game Mode series, so we are going to be changing game mode as soon as we lose along the way. So we had the new account set up, as you can see here. I'm ranked in everything. And that does mean we will be doing ones first, and see how far we can get without losing start. We're probably hopefully quite far, and then we're going to twos, etc. As soon as we get to snow day and lose, we will go back to ones. But I'm only doing a maximum of so many games. We'll have them on the screen here. We are doing 90 games in ones, 130 games in twos, 120 games in threes, 95 rumble games, 85 games of dropshot, 80 hoops games, and then 55 snow day games, and that does add up to 655 games. Get into the 91s games then, and we'll see what happens. So we'll start with ones, and the 90 games you played in ones. So ones was eventful. We started off so well in ones. We actually went on a 16 win streak, and we actually hit Champ 2 for the first time. This is before I made it Champ 2 on my main account, so this is, as I said, it's been filming for a very long time, this. And yeah, but it was 16 games we actually made it to fucking Champ 2 for the first time. However, from there, it was very up and down, kind of win-lose, win-lose. We only ended up with 51 wins and 39 losses. And that gave us a 56.6 win ratio, which I guess is okay, but it's nowhere near some of the better ones we've had so far. In terms of goals scored and conceded, however, we scored 408 goals and conceded 280, which averages about 4.5 goals per game. Which is actually quite good. I mean, it's one, so it's not really incredible. But the more impressive one is the fact we only conceded about just over 3 goals per game, which is actually quite impressive considering the level of ones we was playing against. I mean, some games end like 2-1, but most of the games I play end up about 8-7. So, and obviously there's no assists in ones, so there's only saves left, and I got 228 saves over the 90 games that I played, which equated to about 2.5, just over 2.5, which I guess is okay. I mean, saves don't really matter in ones, is it? It's just more about just who gets more goals. But yeah, we actually ended up in fucking Champ 1 Div 4, and we actually managed to get to Champ 2 originally. We kept winning, losing, and the 16 win streak at the start kind of just ended up going. As you can see, it's a bigger difference. It's a smaller difference than 16 between the wins now. It's now a 12 difference, meaning we would have lost more than we won after that 16 win streak, which is very unfortunate. I mean, I fucking hate ones. If you watch this channel a lot, you'll know I cannot stand ones. So it probably just put me off a bit. But yeah, it's a long grind, and there was a lot of rage as well over those 90 games. But that's ones done. Now we come on to twos, and this was the most games played in one of them. We had 132 games here. So we actually have the second best ratio in twos. And we won 92 games out of 130, and we lost 38. Which actually gives us a 70.8 win ratio, which is really good. And we scored 489 goals as a team, that is, which equated to about just under 4 goals per game, which is very good really in twos. However, we also conceded 263, which isn't actually that bad, just over 2 goals a game, which is really good in twos. If you consider there'll be some big scorelines like 6-0s in there when he just gets spanked with a shit teammate. So you can see 2 goals per game is very good. In terms of my goal scoring, I scored 323 of the 489 goals we scored, which equated to just under 2.5 goals per game for me. And I scored just under 2/3 of my team goal, which probably sums up the way fucking I play this game. I score a majority of the goals. I just get fucked over by teammates. This is visible proof of this as well. This is absolute visible proof. I also came up with 102 assists in twos, which equated to just under 1 assist a game, which is kind of about right, to be honest. I don't really get many assists. Although I make a lot of chances, my teammates just never seem to score. And again, further proof my teammates are just shit. Then we had 192 saves, which equated to just under 1.5 saves per game, which again, pretty much sums up the game. I had more saves and goals and assists, probably says it all about my team and the way things went. But to be fair, we did very well. There was obviously negatives though. We actually lost in gold 3, believe it or not. I was playing absolutely terribly, and my teammate was bumping me, and the other 2 people we were playing against were pretty much Plat, so it was pretty much a 3v1. and we lost like 3-2 or something. That was the one blip we had in twos. However, we actually went on to reach champ after 35 games, and we actually managed to reach champ 2 div 4 in the end. We actually ended in champ 2 div 4 in twos, which was very good. So yeah, that's twos. Very eventful. We actually did quite well. I mean, two's my favourite game, as I've said. Much prefer twos to one, that's for sure. Coming to freeze, then we had 120 games in freeze, the second highest one, and we actually had our best win percentage here. It was dead on 72.5% because we had 87 wins and 33 losses. However, we did start very low, and freeze are very hard to progress in, so we actually only ended up making the champ 2 div 3, although that's pretty much what rank I am on my main account. And we could have definitely gone higher. We just got a bit unlucky in some games. However, we scored 365 goals and conceded 167. That is very good going. That's just over 3 goals per game scored and slightly under 1.5 goals per game conceded. As you can see, we're doubling their goals. So that's very good going. So if we was going to concede 2, we score 4. Concede 1, we scored 2. So it pretty much just shows how these games went. We played very well in these freeze games. And I scored 186 goals of those 365, which is just over 50% of the goals. In freeze is very good, as you'd expect it to be about third. That just proves how valuable I am to these teams. However, assists wise, we only got 68, which is just over 0.5 a game. So it takes us 2 games to get an assist. Take us 2 games to get an assist if we're going by averages. But again, pretty much just shows what my teammates are like. I mean, I blame my teammates. They're actually quite good in freeze. We actually didn't struggle that much in terms of the lower ranks like diamond, etc. We didn't struggle with, like we have done before. We didn't struggle at all. Then we got 127 saves, which is just over 1 per game, which is just, you know, about standard for freeze. You're not going to get as many of the stats in freeze. Obviously, they've divided more over by more people, so that's always going to be bound to happen. Yeah, we actually reached champ after 35 games, pretty similar to 2. It's pretty much the case for most of them, to be honest. It took about the same amount of games to get to champ in all of them, other than ones, of course. But yeah, that's freeze. Freeze was quite enjoyable. I did actually like playing freeze on this account. It was quite nice. And now we come on to Rumble. Here come the extra bows. This is where it gets interesting. So Rumble, we played 95 games in, more than one because I fucking hate ones. I've told you that already. We won 60 and lost 35, which equates to a 63.2% win ratio, which is actually okay. Compared to some of the rest of them you're going to see in a minute, it's actually okay. However, this is where Rumble shows what it's truly about. We scored 375 goals in those 95 games, which is just under 4 goals per game. And that's getting close to one's numbers, and you've got to think there's 3 people in these games, so it's going to be hard to score, but Rumble's Rumble. However, that works both ways. You also conceded 240 goals, which equates to just over 2.5 per game, which pretty much just sums up what Rumble was. It was just a goal fest. It was an absolute AIDS. I cannot stress how much AIDS Rumble is sometimes. When everyone's using their power ups at once, it's a fucking shit show. So in terms of my goals, this is where Rumble really shows what it is. I only scored 186, where compared to where I've usually scored quite a lot, I only scored 186, which again is just over half, which is quite good considering it's a 3v3 game mode. But Rumble absolutely took it out of me. And when you see where I finished, it wasn't the highest ranked. I was playing in a lower ranked thing. I wasn't scoring that many goals. It just shows how shit Rumble is. I only got 65 assists as well, which is just under 0.66 per game, which is a 2/3 mark. So it would take us 3 games to get 2 assists if we talk about averages there. And we only made 60 saves because, funny enough, it's fucking impossible to save on Rumble. And that's, again, just under the 2/3 mark. So anyway, we ended in Diamond 3 Div 1, which is what I was saying. We actually made a late push for that. Was in Diamond 2 for a lot of it, Diamond 2, Diamond 1 for a lot of it. I had a fair few disconnects along the way, as I'm sure you've probably seen in the clips I'm showing you. And yeah, that didn't help us. But they weren't as bad as the next one, I'll tell you. And here we are, then we come on to dropshot. Now this was the second worst one. The second worst one. And it was so bad we even lost to a bronze 3 team. And I don't even want to talk about that. It was the worst game I think I've ever played in this game. I could not get a minute's peace. I was getting bumped across the pitch. And then they just let them score. Pretty much just like what the champ players are, but this was bronze 3 drop shot. I've never seen a lower standard of play in my life, but I could not do anything about it. Anyway, in terms of wins, we won 51 and lost 34, which gives them dead on 60% win ratio. When you think about it, it's actually quite good, but when you see again the rank we was playing at, it wasn't the best. We're playing higher on our main account, so we should be doing better. And in these games, we've got 153 goals. I can see 94, which is just under 2 per game. and we conceded just over 1 per game. So the averages, we're talking about 2-1 every game. And I scored 84 goals, which was a little bit over half. Again, pretty much proving what the teams were like. We only had 33 assists, which is just about over 0.3. So that's, you know, very like low, because drop shot assists, as I said, the goals are hard to come by, and you don't get assists very much because the ball usually travels quite a long way, and it's usually a solo effort that gets the ball in. And we had 58 saves. Again, saves are very rare to come by in drop shot. It's just over 0.5 saves per game. So that's drop shot, absolute AIDS. We did end in Diamond 3 Div 2, and yeah, it wasn't so it's not the highest rank. As I said, we played on a lot higher in our main account with Diamond 3 Div 4. I think we was even champ for a long time. And yeah, drop shot was a pain, absolute pain. It took our fucking equally as long to play the games as it did to find the fucking games themselves. Now we come on to hoops. This was the worst one by quite some way, and we somehow finished quite higher than the last two. I don't know how that works, but it just did. I don't know how it works. We probably went on a fair win streak at the start. I think we did go on a good win streak at the start, and we actually lost majority of the games towards the end. We went on like a 7-win loss streak or something like that. But yeah, so we only won 47 and we lost 33. However, we're talking hoops, there's a lot of goals in hoops for some reason, even though when I usually play it, it's not. We scored 290 goals as a team together. 290, like that's a lot. That's like 3.5 per game. In terms of conceding, however, because he's 208, so there's not a big difference between scored and conceded, which is probably reflected by the win and loss. Considering he scored 3.5 per game, you know, it's not a big difference. It really isn't. Most of the games were like that. We got some batterings in there as well. However, there were some batterings by us in the earlier ranks. Obviously, people can't really defend them, so it was getting like 12-0s and stuff. So that's a lot, very inflated as well, them stats. So in terms of how many I scored 200, which is not only 2.5 per game, but over 2/3 of the team's goals. And that just summed up what hoops was. We just could not get a good team. We really could not. I mean, just kept losing and losing and losing and losing. And that's why we ended up in a higher rank, because we actually started a lot better and they put us higher to start with. This wise, we got 48, just over a half per game. And saves, we had 90, just over 1 per game. But yeah, we actually finished Diamond 3 Div 4, which is crazy. I would never think we'd finish on a higher rank, because I mean, we lost more games. But it is what it is. That's how it worked. And we actually managed to get champ hoops for the first time ever. I've never been champ hoops after 21 games. Which just to emphasise my point, we was in champ at one point, and we lost a lot of games. And this comes on to the last 55 games. Obviously in snow day, they had to be 55. I had to put the lowest in snow day because I can't fucking stand it. It took about 2 years for it to find a game anyway. And in terms of winning, we actually did quite well. We won 38 and lost 17, which gave us a 69.1% win ratio, which is one of the higher ones. And we only lost 17 games. However, snow day is very low scoring because it's fucking AIDS and it's so hard to score. So we only scored 119 goals, just over 2 per game. We only conceded 61. Just over 1 per game. So it's again pretty much a 2-1 game. Like drop shot, very similar. Very hard to score, very low scoring. However, after 39 games of snow day, we managed to hit champ. We was playing so well in snow day. We must have gone on about a 10-win streak. It'd be plenty of clips, and most of the clips have been like the few games in a row where I just scored loads of goals. And in terms of scoring goals, we scored 119 as a team. Now, I scored 57, which is just over 1 per game. It's also just under a half, and this is probably the lowest percentage of scoring goals across the board. I think it is actually. However, don't take anything away from the fact I was playing very well and I got a lot of assists and a lot of saves, because Stone is a very low scoring game. 25 assists in those 55 games. Actually, I said I had got a lot of assists, but it's just under a half an assist per game. And saves is very similar, 26, just under a half per game as well. So in terms of a finishing rank for Snow Day, we actually had our highest ever. We was in Champ 1 Div 4 come the end of Snow Day. Very close to Champ 2. You know what? It's actually not a bad bet for trying to get to Grand Champ Snow Day, you know. There's some very good players in there, but it's also a very level playing field because it just takes the whole dynamic. It's very easy to read where the ball's going or the puck's going because all you could do is slide it across things. No real height dynamic to me. It's all like one-dimensional. So yeah, that is a 655 games then. That is a 655 games in this account. Very interesting to do this, to see what the different ranks and lower ranks are like. Obviously we lost a few of them. And a lot of disconnects as well. A lot of rage you would have maybe seen. I don't think there's any rage clips. A lot of fuck ups by me. A lot of fuck ups by the team. A lot of nice goals by me as well, though. A lot of nice assists as well. So I enjoy the clips that are on the screen as well, because they obviously what happened over the games. We couldn't fit all of them in. Obviously there's so many of them, but I can only put them in for as long as I was talking. And yeah, that's a 655 game. That's a 655 sub special. Big shout out for that. We're nearly at 700, by the way, as I'm filming this now, because it took us a long time. We got caught off guard. Been doing this over a very long period of time, but however, we got like 25 in one day and just completely smashed the time frame I had set for this thing. So I've actually just finished recording this when we're on 694, so it's going to be a bit delayed. We might even have 700 by the time it's out, but 655 it is. Next is 1k, and there'll be a big one. There'll be all sorts of things going on at 1000, so make sure you're here for that. And on top of all that, I forgot to mention we had to deal with a rank reset. After 228 games, you had to deal with a season 3 rank reset. It threw us off on a lot of things, because it most probably things like hoops or things like rumble or things like that. We've got a lot of wins, but we're not as high as we would expect because of the rank reset. Probably lost a lot of games in the rank reset. It took us further down than we would have thought. But yeah, that's the 655 special. It took us a very long time to do this. If you appreciate it, please do like this and subscribe to us. There will be a lot more of sub specials coming out because we are growing very quickly at the moment. But yeah, that aside, it took a very long time to make. Any appreciation will be appreciated. And I guess that's that. 655 game, 655 sub special. I hope you enjoyed it. There's some nice clips in there. But yeah, for now, that is a 655 special. I didn't really know what to do for this until I got suggested an idea. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, we'll just do that. Something different, you know, something very different. I don't think many people have had the time and patience to play this shit, especially things like Snow Day for 55 games. I don't think I've actually played 55 Snow Day games overall. But yeah, that is that then. I guess I will see you in the next one.